any further ado, because we know why we're really here, is to meet a Detroit native, Nayana Ferguson, who's joining us today from Anteel Vodka. There is a huge list of impressive things, Nayana, that I could talk about you. So I'll just name a few of them. She and her husband are owners of the tequila brand. It is a premium, smaller batch brand, but hopefully you were all able to find it if you went looking for it, especially here in Michigan. I've got the Blanco version here with me today. So she and her husband are the owners of the company, but also it's so worthy to note that she is actually the first Black woman in the world to own and operate her own premium tequila company. So is really excited to have her here. They've won 25 awards and accolades since 2019. You can see some of them on the screen there, which is just incredibly impressive. She's been featured in Forbes Magazine, Black Enterprise, Crain's Detroit, and numerous news outlets across Michigan. And I could keep going and going, Nayana, but we just really want to hear from you. So thank you so much for being here. And I am going to pass it along to you to lead us through this incredible demonstration.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. And make sure let me know if you can hear me okay. What I'm going to go through a little bit is, I know that they passed out a couple of cocktails that we're going to go through, but I am going to give you a little bit of education a little bit, and then we'll go through a couple of the cocktails. So again, my name is Nayana Ferguson. I am the co-founder and the COO of Anteel Tequila. I am the first Black woman to own a tequila brand in the world. And we launched in August of 2018. And actually, since 2019, we have won 26 awards and accolades for our tequila. So we are so very proud of that because we are still considered a new brand and we are a emerging brand. But for us to get all of these awards and accolades is something that is amazing for us because we are growing. Right now, Anteel Tequila is available in 8 states physically. So we are available in Michigan, California, Florida, Colorado, Texas, New York, New Jersey, and Georgia. And if we are not available physically in those states for you, you can actually go to our website and order online through our online retailer. So just enough about that because I know we have 3 drinks to go through, 3 cocktails to go through, and we only have a limited amount of time, but I do want to give a little bit about tequila because I do know some people still have questions and also maybe have a stereotypical thought about what tequila is. So I am going to go a little bit about what tequila is and where it comes from. So I'm actually going to start because I know we talked about, I'm going to have all my bottles here so you guys can see that. Because I don't know if you were able to get 1, 2, or all 3 of our tequila expressions. But most people don't know, and I think some people do know, that tequila has to come from Mexico. In order for it to be called tequila, it is 100% blue Weber agave. And so because some people get it, because we are a Michigan company, and like, oh, you can't make tequila in Michigan. I'm like, no, I've never said that. We've never said that. Our tequila actually is made and bottled in Mexico. So we do import it here. And we actually work with one of the most awarded distilleries down there. And actually it's some brands, and I think guys might know, that are also from our distillery. But to get to the education about tequila, so this is our Blanco tequila. And most Blancos are called either Blanco, Plata, Silver, or something, or Platinum tequila. And all tequilas come from a Blanco. So I know you see one over here that has a different color. Believe me, it actually comes from a Blanco. So a Blanco tequila is a tequila, basically it's either, if it is aged, is aged 2 months or less. So basically after the process of the distillation and fermentation of tequila, it is usually bottled after that, or if they are going to age it, it's 2 months or less. So that's what you see here, and that's why it's usually a clear type of liquid. Our next tequila would be a Reposado, and this is Anteel Reposado. It is actually aged 8 months in Tennessee whiskey barrels. I don't know if you guys can see it because I know it's a little bit of glare, but Reposado means rested. So rested means that it is actually rested in a barrel. So basically they take this Blanco, they put it into a barrel, and again, ours is aged 8 months in Tennessee whiskey barrels. Their majority are aged in American white oak barrels, but more reposados are coming out with more different type of barrels. So we've seen some different bourbon barrels. We've seen some different type of flavor profile barrels that are going on with reposados. But ours is aged in whiskey barrels. So that is why ours is a little bit darker. So I don't know if you have the reposado and you can see that, but it's a little bit darker. And again, it gets its color from the barrels. And then usually people know about añejos. And añejo means aged. So that just means that it is aged in a barrel, again, depending on what you're going to age it in. And it's aged usually a little bit longer. So reposados are usually aged between 6 months and a year. And our reposado is aged 8 months. So we're a little bit longer than most reposados that are aged, because a lot of them are minimum of about 6 months. Añejos are aged between 1 and 3 years. So again, if you get an añejo, it's going to be a higher price point because, of course, it is aged a little bit longer. It's going to be a little bit smoother. It might take on even more of the barrel flavor that whatever it's aging in, and that's where you get the flavor profiles from. Now, our other expression is we do have the world's only coconut lime Blanco tequila. Again, this is actually a Blanco tequila, so it's not aged, but we do have the natural extracts of the coconut meat and natural extracts of the lime. So our coconut lime does not have any synthetics or anything like that. And we've talked about it before. We were talking about just some tequilas may have some synthetic properties in it, and that may be what you're tasting sometimes when you're tasting a flavored tequila. So sometimes I like to give people that education because we don't have those synthetics and we don't have those artificial sweeteners. So I try to get people to go ahead and just try it before, you know, they get that stereotypical thought on what a flavored tequila will taste. So I know everyone is here for the cocktails. So that is just a little bit on what tequila is, or the difference between a Blanco, a Reposado, and an Añejo. So one of our first cocktails that we're going to make, for those who have our coconut lime, you can also use our Blanco with this, but we're actually going to start with our ranch water. So I'm going to get everything out, and if you want to go ahead and follow along, if you have the recipe in front of you, we're going to have a Blanco or our coconut lime. We're going to have some lime wedges, and we're going to have Topo Chico or any mineral water. So it's like three very easy ingredients. And I know there are a couple of questions in the chat room, so I know we're going to kind of go over that a little bit after we get through the cocktails. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to layer for this ranch water. So we want to kind of make it look pretty. So I go ahead and try to get it in here. And then you're going to put some ice in, because we're going to do a layer. If you're following along, you can definitely make this how you want. This is something very easy. It's something very quick you can make. It is a very easy summer cocktail. You know, if you're just kind of sitting around, you're on the deck, or you're outside and you want something really refreshing, you can go ahead and just get some limes, get some tequila and some mineral water, and go ahead and put this together. So I have my limes and I have my ice and my tall glass. Now right here, we do have a rim. So we rim this with an alderwood smoked sea salt. So it actually kind of just gives it a little bit different flavor. You can rim it with sugar, or you don't have to rim it at all, but we like to try different rims on our drinks just to give it a little bit flavor. And if you follow us on social media, my husband actually made a recipe regarding this, so you can actually look at that as well, and you can kind of see just the different recipes that we make using just the different salts and sugars that we rim our drinks with. So I have my glass. And so now what we're going to do is I'm going to use the coconut. I'm going to use the actual, I think I'm going to use the coconut lime. And then we're going to put 2 ounces. We're going to get a lime. And you want to go ahead and squeeze a half a lime. So go ahead and just squeeze that in there, because that really brings out the flavor of the coconut lime, and it also just makes it so refreshing. And then I'm going to open my mineral water. I have Topo Chico. I know a couple of people have had the Topo Chico and lime. I just have the regular Topo Chico. If you have any other mineral water, it is fine. It should come out perfectly. And just go ahead and top that off. And then I am going to put my garnish of a lime wedge. And there you go. Very easy to make, just a couple of ingredients. Just pour you some tequila, squeeze some lime in there, and top it with Topo Chico or some mineral water. That's it. And it is a nice, refreshing drink that you can drink, I think, at any time. I mean, if you're out on the deck or anything like that, or just, sitting around watching TV, it's something very easy that you can do. So I'm going to actually put this over here. And if there are any questions regarding that, definitely put it into the chat box, or just let me know how you think it tastes.
Anna, there's one question related to this drink. Is mineral water like club soda, or perhaps could it be something?
It could be similar to that, yes. You can use club soda. We try to use something that doesn't have too much flavor, or because you really want to get the flavor of the tequila and the lime. But club soda is perfect to use, because I think too with the carbonation as well. I'm going to go ahead and move that. Now, has anyone tried it, and what do you think? I see.
I'm seeing some really happy faces.
I know.
Out there. And some thumbs up.
Because it's a very simple drink. It's something that, again, it is so simple to make, and it's so refreshing and so nice for you to have whenever, you just want a little cocktail of something, so you don't have to get too many items for that. I saw the chat. So yeah, I agree. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and, okay, do you see I put in 2 ounces of tequila. So, I mean, if you want to make it more boozy, you can definitely do that, but then it might not be as balanced. But we put in 2 ounces of tequila in the ranch water. So, but hey, if it's a Friday or something, you want a little bit more, go ahead and put a little bit more. No judgment. So let's go ahead and get the ingredients for the mule. Now, usually mules are made in the copper mug. I know you guys have seen these before. I don't know if you have one or not, but I'm not going to make it in here because I want you to go ahead and see what we're doing. Oh, you got your copper mug? Right. See, I mean, I think it makes it too, because usually a mule is made with the crushed ice. And so it just kind of all blends very well in the copper mug. It keeps it cold, and I think it just looks cool. But I'm actually going to make it just in a regular glass so you guys can see. But if you do have a copper mug, go ahead and make it in there. It'll be phenomenal. So we're going to go ahead and usually with the copper mugs, but like I said, I'm going to do it in this glass. You can fill it with crushed ice. Or if you have like smaller ice cubes or something like that, you can do it in there as well. And I'm going to put some smaller cubes to kind of mimic, crushed ice. And you need to fill it up. So into your copper mug or your glass, whichever one that you have, and go ahead and do that. Okay, for this one, we're actually going to use our Blanco. So for the first one, we use our coconut lime. And for this one, we're going to use Anteel Blanco tequila. And then we're also going to have some ginger beer. So I don't know if you have ginger beer, but that is the best for the mule because of course that kind of sets it off. So we're going to go ahead and use Anteel Blanco, and we're going to do 2 ounces of tequila. So I don't know if you guys want to count it or you got some, if you have the measuring to go ahead and measure that. But again, just like any other drinks, you can, you can put a little bit more if you like. So I got my tequila in here, and then we're going to do another lime. We have another lime, and I am going to squeeze that in here, but I am going to use my juicer to get it in here so I can make sure I get all the flavors from the lime. So let's go ahead and get that lime juice in here. Let's squeeze it in here because we want to get all those flavors in there. So once you're able to do that, then we're going to get our ginger beer. So I just have this ginger beer. I don't know if you have some other types of ginger beer that you like, but usually we've tried this with many different ginger beers and usually all of them work pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and just top it with your ginger beer. Now, usually you can go ahead and garnish this with a mint sprig. You can do it with the lime slice. And I have one here that I can actually go ahead and put in here. And that is your mule. So tell me how it tastes. I know the people with the copper mug, you have to let me know if it's how they come out. I see. Now this one is, excuse me, this one is a non-alcoholic one. But I don't know, I haven't tried it with a alcoholic ginger beer. I don't know, we might have to try that one. Maybe it'll make it a little more, I don't know. I have to try that one. But this one is a non-alcoholic one. I can't see, I think I've had that one. I think I've had that one. That one works very well. How did it come out?
I saw some cheersing going on as well. That looks like we might be missing the real party.
I know.
But I made this one. I just stepped down into my kitchen.
I know, all I see are smiles and cheers.
Yep, it's very good.
Awesome.
You may have converted me to mules.
Yeah, again, I mean, just even like the ranch water, this is a very simple drink. It's very light. You know, you can make this with, if you have some ginger beer, if you get ginger beer and you have some limes and you have some tequila, there you go. That's all you have to do, and put some ice in there, you are good to go. So this is something that you can make very easily as well, just like the ranch water. Yes, the ranch water, the ranch water to me is phenomenal. But yeah, I need to try that with the, I need to try that with the alcoholic ginger beer. Maybe that'll, we have to, I know that might make it a little bit better. Even better, like even better. So we're going to go ahead and I want to go ahead and do the in fashion as well, because then we can go over any other questions and I can give you a little bit more information. So I have a rocks glass for our in fashion, and a lot of people know old fashions, but we decided to call it an in fashion because there is a little bit different ingredients that we have in our version of the old fashioned. We do make old fashions with our Reposado as well, and they are phenomenal. But for this one, we do have a little bit of twist in what we're making. Oh, ginger liquor also. I'm looking at, they said ginger liquor. Oh, that might be something I have to try as well. So, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start our in fashion. And usually when you make it in fashion, you use some sort of honey or something like that. We're actually going to use some agave nectar. And you usually have some bitters as well. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put the agave nectar in. And we're using about a bar spoon, you know, which is like, I think it's almost like a half tablespoon or something like that. I know we've made several of these on our social media platform pages. So if you definitely want to get the exact amount of the honey or nectar that you want to use, we definitely have this recipe on there. But I did a bar spoon, so it's about this much of the honey. And then I'm going to do some cherry bitters. And so this is a little bit different because usually old fashions have, you know, orange and things like that, but we are actually going to use cherry bitters. And I'm going to do about 5 dashes. And then I'm also going to use toasted oak bitters. And I'm going to do about 3 dashes of that. And then I am actually going to stir this around. So I want to go ahead and get this kind of mixed in. And this is what you would do if you have the honey or the nectar in there. So you can go ahead and incorporate the bitters into the agave honey or the nectar, whatever you're using. So we're going to go ahead and stir it, get that all incorporated. And usually you can do this in a cocktail cup, but I'm actually going ahead and just doing this in the glass so you guys can see kind of how we're doing this. Okay, so I think we have it incorporated. And then I am going to add, I'm trying to add like 1 ice cube. And I'm going to have Anteel Tequila, Reposado Tequila. Now again, our Reposado is aged 8 months in Tennessee whiskey barrels. So a lot of times when you make an old fashioned, it usually has bourbon or whiskey. And so that's why we use our Reposado in our old fashioned or in fashion cocktails, because of the flavor profiles come from the Tennessee whiskey barrels that we rest our Reposado in. So a lot of people who like Scotch, whiskey, bourbon actually enjoy our Reposado because of those flavor profiles. So I'm actually going to put 2 ounces of Reposado. And we are going to have an ice cube. And usually you can have just 1 square ice cube in there. I know some old fashions, they use like a cube of sugar and then they put some water in and they stir that as well to incorporate that instead of the sugar, instead of the nectar or the honey. And that's something you can do as well. But I went ahead and did the nectar, agave nectar. I did the bitters. I did 2 ounces of Reposado tequila, and I put in a small ice cube. And then I am, instead of doing an orange peel, we are going to do some berries. And there is our in fashion. So again, let me know if you were able to make this cocktail, because I think this is pretty easy as well. This is something that has just a couple of ingredients. These are blackberries. I don't know if you can see them. We just tried to use something a little bit different, but we've used cherries, we've used oranges, all of the, I think most traditional old fashions have orange peel in it, but we try to use different things. And if you follow us on social media, you'll see all the different ways that we've been able to do different cocktails with our tequilas. But this is simple as well. And definitely let me know what you think about the in fashion. And I know I saw a couple of other questions. No, we don't shake that one. This is one that you go ahead and stir. And then you go ahead and put in your bitters, your nectar. I stirred it. This is not one that you do in a shaker. And I saw another question. Right now, Anteel in the DC area, you would need to go to our website and go through our online retailer for the DC area, as we're not available in those. So again, these are 3 very easy cocktails that we've had out here for you. So you can go ahead and, you know, have a cocktail with any of our tequilas. So we used our Blanco, we used the world's only coconut lime Blanco tequila, and we used our Reposado, which is aged 8 months in Tennessee whiskey barrels. So these are 3 different cocktails, very simple ingredients, things that you might already have in your home. So whenever you want a cocktail or, you know, have friends over, these are some things that you can, you know, make, and they're like, okay, I really, you know, you're giving me a different idea on what tequila is. But to go over, I know some people saw these, and I don't know if they were asking a little bit about these, but these are some of the awards that we did when actually last year and this year in the San Francisco World Spirit Competition, which is considered the Oscars of the spirit industry. And we also won several awards in the SIP Awards, which I would probably say would be the top consumer actual awards from in the country or in the world, because the judges are actually the consumers. So we are so very proud of all of the awards that we've actually won in both of these competitions. But we've also been voted Best Michigan Brand Tequila 2 years in a row by Metro Times. And I know since a lot of people are in Michigan, they do know what the Metro Times is. Yeah. And then we've had so many just accolades regarding our tequila. We just saw that we are on the list again this year for Cosmopolitan for some of the best sipping tequilas. We were on there last year for the world's only coconut lime Blanco tequila, and this year we are on here for the Blanco tequila. So I know I see all these chats and I'm trying not to read them because I know I can't really see them. Do you, Anne, do you want me to read them, or do you want to go through them?
Yeah, myself and Leslie can kind of help. Let's see,
Okay.
Somebody is asking what brand of agave nectar that you use or recommend.
You can use usually any type, but this one is one that I get from Aldi, actually. It is it is their light agave nectar. So supposedly, I don't know if it's just not as sweet or something, but we get it from Aldi.
Sure.
But you can use any agave nectar, but a lot of people may use honey. Again, for the old fashioned or in fashion, you can use the sugar cube. The traditional way is doing the sugar cube with the water. But again, we use the agave nectar.
Good stuff. So somebody else asked, when you hear light and dark tequila, is that the same as Blanco and Reposado?
Absolutely. So I do answer that question a lot because some people say they don't want to mix dark and light. And dark and light to me, dark and light is basically cognac and vodka, which are 2 different spirits. But as I was talking about before, all reposados come from a Blanco. So they are all tequilas. So it is not a different spirit. So yes, a Blanco is actually a Blanco, a Reposado is actually a Blanco that was rested in a barrel. And that's the only reason why it has a different color. So you're not mixing, different types of spirits. It is all tequila. So you can go from, because I know some people are like, well, I don't want to go from dark to light, but you can go from drinking a Blanco tequila to a Reposado or an añejo because they're all tequila. So absolutely.
Good to know. And then we have Jennifer out there. She's wondering if you guys have like a store or a location in Detroit or the Detroit area.
We have several locations in Michigan. We actually have, I believe, over 350 locations in Michigan. So if you're looking for a location, just go to our website and go to the store locator and put in your zip code, and it should give you some stores that are near you. However, we are selling exceptionally well. So I do always ask people, you know what, go ahead and call them and make sure they have it or have the expression that you're looking for, because I do know that sometimes the stores sell out and they do not replenish it right away. So you want to make sure you're not just kind of driving around. But we try to update our store locator weekly so that when we do put a store in there, they did have the product there. But again, if they're selling quickly, we don't really know, you know, until someone tells me that, hey, I went here and they didn't have it. And I'm like, okay.
Definitely. And you gave us a good tip to call ahead too. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's
Because in Michigan, you can't order it as far as getting it sent to you. Michigan is a control state. So, you know, I know some people are like, can I order it, you know, just off our website? No, but I do know some stores, or I think what, Instacart or something like that now, they actually deliver alcohol. So I do know some people who have used Instacart to get our tequila delivered with their groceries. I do know that.
well, you can't beat that, right?
I know. That way you don't have to go for it, get it delivered.
Okay, a couple more technical question here. Wendy's just wondering if you can use simple syrup instead of agave.
I'm sure you can, because it's basically something that's sugar based, and that's just to balance in the drink, just to give it a little balance of the sugar. So you can probably use that. But definitely, if you're going to use bitters or anything like that, or maybe even put a drop of water in, go ahead and stir it so you can mix everything together.
Okay. Jennifer's wondering, what are some of the inspirations you use to create a new cocktail?
Oh, to create. Okay, so I am not the bartender, the actual mixologist that I call my husband. He doesn't claim that title, but I believe a lot of reasons why we are motivated, just different things, because we want to continue to educate people about tequila and show them the diversity actually that tequila has in different drinks, especially a premium tequila. You know, all of our tequilas are actually sippable tequilas. So that means that we have made them that you are able to just have your tequila, sip it with some ice or by itself if you put it in the refrigerator or freezer, but they all mix very well in any cocktail that we've made. So what we've tried to do is we've tried to kind of make over some of the old favorites that a lot of people have, because we are trying to educate and get people to actually learn more about, you know, premium tequila and kind of get them coming back. So like the old fashioned, that is something that is usually made with bourbon or whiskey. We make it with our reposado. And then those who like old fashions, when they try it, they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, this is tequila in here. We're like, yeah, because, you know, we truly feel that if you have a tequila, you should be able to still enjoy some of your favorite cocktails, even though it's tequila in it. You know, I do know my husband has made a Manhattan with our reposado in it as well. So, you know, I know a lot of people have Manhattans or Cosmopolitans or, you know, all of those different drinks that, you know, people are familiar with. We just basically swap it out for tequila. And we've done very well each time we've done that. So I think that's the motivation behind it. But one of the other motivations is we want to continue to make sure that people know that tequila is diverse and can go in any drink. So if you follow our social media, you'll be able to see all of the cocktails that we've been able to create. Well, my husband, not me, but that we've been able to create using tequila. And I'm guaranteeing you, a lot of people are like, oh my God, I didn't know this was tequila. And, you know, this is actually phenomenal. So that is a lot of our motivation, is because we just want people to try tequila again, or try, you know, a premium tequila again.
No, that's awesome. I think along those same lines here, Rochelle, she's asking, so how is it that tequila has become so famous? And it does very much feel like tequila is having a moment. I feel like we keep seeing more and more high profile brands. What's your take on that?
My my take on it is that, yeah, people are discovering tequila again. You know, my husband and I, part of our story is the fact that, you know, when we actually started dating and he was actually into tequila and I started getting into it and started researching. And because I am a 15-year pancreatic cancer survivor and an 8-year breast cancer survivor, I was looking for something that I still want to drink every now and then. And I was looking for something that was a little bit healthier for me. And tequila is considered a healthier spirit, if you want to put it, that way, because it is naturally gluten-free and because it's made from a plant. And I can't say zero, but I can say very, 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 very low in sugar and carbs. And so it does not affect my body just like vodka or, some other spirit, rum, especially because rum is made either from sugarcane or molasses. And that's a lot of sugar. And I can't process that. My body doesn't like processing that sugar. So tequila is probably becoming more famous because people are really realizing that it is a healthier spirit. It is in a 1.5 ounce shot. It's only 64 calories, where usually some of the other spirits are a little bit higher. And then if you make a drink, especially like the ranch water, low cal, low sugar, especially if you use mineral water, you're not putting any sugar in it, so that's something that you can drink at any time. But I think it's becoming famous because of that. And then it's actually growing in popularity. So you see a lot of celebrities, getting on board, with growing a tequila fan and things like that. So, the trajectory of tequila is actually going up. But yeah, I think that's why, just because a lot of people are rediscovering tequila.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon's wondering if you guys sell any mezcal or strictly tequila, or maybe give us the hot scoop if there's any plans to make a mezcal.
We don't have any plans to make mezcal as of yet, but I do see that mezcal is actually coming, to be more in the forefront as well. A lot of people are enjoying more mezcals now. And a lot of people get mezcal and tequila confused. And I always miss the same, but all tequilas are mezcals, but not all mezcals are tequila. But basically, tequila can only come from 100% Blue Weber agave. Mezcal comes from all the other agave plants, and there are over 36 plus variations of the agave plant. And everything else besides the Blue Weber agave can be mezcal. And mezcals are actually distilled a little bit different in their fermentation. Their process is a little different. With tequila, their tequila is actually cooked in ovens, but for mezcal, the agave is cooked underground. So that is why a lot of people with mezcal, you have the smokiness, you taste the smokiness in mezcal because it's actually cooked underground. So that's a difference as well in mezcals.
Yeah, interesting. So Karen's wondering, I don't believe you mentioned this, or I must have missed it too, but how did you guys come up with the name Anteel?
Anteel is actually the name of a species of hummingbird. And as you see, our logo is a hummingbird. It is named after the Antillean mango-crested hummingbird. And the hummingbird actually has a significance to my husband and I personally, and just as we've been growing this brand. When we were engaged, we actually went to the Dominican Republic. And while we were talking about our future and things of that nature, we actually started seeing all of these hummingbirds at dinner. And we were we had already had personal stories prior to that. So of course we felt like that was a great omen, when we were getting engaged and things like that. And then when we talked about having the tequila, we wanted something to be different. And we wanted, something to truly speak to our legacy and what we were creating. On the back of every bottle of our tequila, our tagline is "Create Your Legacy." And one of the myths or sayings about hummingbirds is that if you see a hummingbird and it flies over your head, it actually takes your dreams up to the universe, to God. It actually takes your dreams, up for you. So we truly believe that everyone has a legacy inside them. So we feel that actually goes with our tagline. So that's something it's very important to us with our hummingbird logo.
Yeah, that's very unique. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So Barbara's wondering, where in Mexico is your distillery?
All tequila has to come from a certain place in Mexico. It is in I think they name it the state. So the state of Guadalajara, and in Jalisco in the city of Tequila. So if you buy any tequila that is 100% Blue Weber agave tequila, it comes from that area. All the distilleries are actually in that area. So there are just acres and acres of land of agave down there. So it actually comes from that area in Mexico.
Okay, I think that catches us up on all the questions. I know.
Yeah, I definitely see. I see someone said that they're joining from Atlanta. We are actually in Atlanta. We did just launch in Atlanta about a month ago, and we're in over 40 plus locations in Atlanta. So if you go to our website and go to a store locator for Atlanta, you should be able to find a store near you that has our tequila as well.
Well, there you go, Kathy Hunter. It's your lucky day.
Right. So
Yes.
I did see a couple of people said they like the Reposado. I'm glad you do. Yes, our Reposado actually, and I didn't get through the awards because truly there are a lot. I mean, it's good, but we didn't have enough time to try to go through all of them.
Yeah.
But right now, our Reposado is actually a Platinum Award-winning Reposado. This year, we won the Platinum Award in the SIP Awards. And again, the SIP Awards, which I consider the Golden Globes of the awards of ceremonies and by consumers. So that means the consumer judges actually judge our Reposado as a Platinum Award-winning tequila. It is also a consumer's choice for this year as well, because we also won double gold for our Reposado last year. And so because we've entered several years and the consumer judges continue to enjoy our tequila, we were chosen as a consumer's choice. But our Reposado, we are happy to say, is a Platinum Award-winning tequila now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And the thing is, we still have some other awards we haven't received yet. Yes, so I don't know how they're all going to fit on these bottles.
Yeah,
but we're going to try.
Need some thicker glass, I think, in the next couple of years here. Yeah.
I know. We're going to get some, I don't know, we're going to have like 2 bottles for each award.
Let's see. Mary Lou also asked, do you guys have any other plans for development of other flavored tequilas similar to the coconut lime?
Absolutely. So we are aware that there are some people, because we do use the natural extracts from the coconut meat, so it actually has coconut oils in it and the natural extract from the lime. Some people are actually allergic to coconut oils, and some people actually just don't like coconut. So we wanted to create a sibling for our coconut lime. So we are actually coming out with a blood orange tequila. And our blood orange actually should be here in a couple of weeks. So, if you follow us on social media, you will see when our blood orange will come out. But we are excited because for our blood orange, we have the Tarocco blood oranges, which actually come from Sicily, Italy. So we're excited because it actually tastes like it smells, and it smells like a phenomenal blood orange. So we're actually very excited because I have yet to come upon anyone who said that they don't like blood orange.
Yeah.
I know people say don't like coconut, but I have yet to see anybody who doesn't like blood orange. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that sounds delicious. I am personally excited. I'll have to finish off my coconut lime and make room for the blood orange here soon in my bar.
Yeah, because it is going to be a limited release. We are doing a soft launch. So it will be only a certain amount of cases that are coming out. So if you are interested in the blood orange, definitely follow us so you can see where the blood orange will be, because you definitely want to get it, because after it's gone, it's going to be gone for, probably a couple more months or for a while. It depends, how we're able to work this out.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm excited because we
Yeah.
actually had it since last year, but because of COVID, that kind of put behind a lot of just different things with the process. A lot of people don't know that with having a tequila, you do have to work with the Mexican government and the US government. So it's a lot in the processes of working with tequila. So I kind of go through that a lot as well, just because it is a lot to work with both of them. And a lot of people don't know that there is a lot going into, having a bottle, having a label, having, the tops, and having to put something on the shelf. It, requires a lot of different things that you just don't see. And if you're not in the business, you really won't know.
Right, absolutely. Well, I keep skipping over them, but a lot of people saying how much they're enjoying it. So
Awesome.
I think maybe last call for questions here, but
Absolutely.
I think that kind of catches us up.
Yeah, because of course there's so much more you can talk about with tequila, but I know we had, a certain amount of time
Sure.
just to go over everything. But we actually tend to educate a lot on our social media platforms. So we do talk about tequila, where it comes from, how it's made, and just the different differences between the expressions and things like that. So definitely follow us on the Anteel Tequila on all social media platforms. If you want to learn more about tequila, see what we're up to, just see a lot of the different recipes that we make with tequila that you may never thought of, because we do use tequila year round. I know a lot of people think that tequila is just for shots or margaritas or just for spring or summer, but we actually use tequila in the fall. We make apple cider drinks with reposado in it. We use it in the winter. And this might not sound good, but we've used peppermint hot chocolate with our coconut lime Blanco tequila. And I never thought I would do that, but we were just trying stuff one day and we tried peppermint hot chocolate with coconut lime tequila, and it came out fantastic. So that's what we do on our social media. Just try to, get people to come back with tequila and to try a premium tequila, because I do know, and I didn't say it before, but I do know everyone has that stereotypical or that spring break story with tequila, that they tried, when they were young and couldn't afford, probably a premium tequila. And I'm here to, let you know that if you drink a premium one, you probably won't get the same, experience that you had with that tequila from spring break. So, and again, I just want to educate people on it, just because it helps me as well as a 2-time cancer survivor, because I know people are like, you drink tequila? I'm like, absolutely. And this is why. So that is one of the reasons why I like to educate people as well.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time with us this evening. I think on behalf of Leslie, our Wayne State colleagues, and everybody, thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for walking us through these. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll have a recording of this, so everybody will get that, and feel free to share it with your friends and family and have some cocktails with them as well. But thank you so much again for being here with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.